Hey everyone, welcome back to Shattering Ceilings. It's Lauren.
And Megan, and we are here today to do a little life update episode. Okay. We were talking, decided that today was the day to kind of check in and share with you guys a little bit about what we are learning in
Mm,
our journey, right?
yes, we often tell you guys that we do things messy, right? And that we were going to bring you along the journey. And so we have reached a new point in this journey that we figure would be really valuable to share because I think so many people experience this at some point, right?
Yeah. So, what's showing up in life right now? We're doing too much. We've
Yes.
mentioned this in other episodes, right? Like, we just spent an entire month talking about goal setting and go getting and what do you do when you get off track? Well, what do we do when life tells you to slow the fuck down? AKA,
Hmm.
you get sick, right? Your body's literally like, it's time to stop and take a nap. And
Right.
our friend Lauren, Miss Gorgeous Lauren, is feeling that so deeply right
Y-
now. You wanna tell us a
yes.
little bit about your last few weeks, Laura?
Sure. So the froggy voices because I'm the one who's sick, because I ignored my cues to slow down a couple weeks ago. I got sick after Christmas. My daughter was sick during Christmas, and so I got the after part, which I didn't think was a big deal. Kind of had a lingering cough, but I did not take a lot of time off because I mean, you guys probably know this by now. Like I push myself a lot and like to run 100 miles an hour towards every goal that I have. And so I did not want to take time off the gym. So I didn't. And then my ribs started bothering me. And I'm like, wow, this is weird. And then finally I was convinced, like, let me go to the chiropractor. Let me get it checked out. And she's like, "You really shouldn't be at the gym." I'm like, "All right, I'll just take like the next 4 days, like the weekend basically, Friday to Monday, and I won't go back till next week." And that's what I did. And the pain did not go away. And Megan's telling me, because she's an acupuncturist, yoga teacher, she knows a lot about anatomy and all the things. And she's telling me, like, you're probably just agitating this worse, which I again ignore. As I often do. That's also the manifestor in me, right? I'm going to do what I want. Excuse me. And then uh I held a retreat, a huge retreat which required a lot of planning and a lot of energy in which I gave 110%. Even though my kids got sick before it and I had to scramble and find a lot of things. And then after everything like came to an end, what ends up happening? I get sick. And I'm not just talking like have a cold and a runny nose, guys. I'm wiped out. Like it's taking me down. Like I gotta be in bed. And it's not seeming to go away. Um, I thought I was getting better the other day. I was out and about and took my kids to a birthday party, like just did normal shit. You know what I mean? And then that night I was like knocked back even further. And so I think that's when it really hit me like, you're doing too much, Lar. Like this is God's way of telling me to sit the fuck down and really 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 rest. Like really clear your calendar. Like stop planning like you're going to be better tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day because that's in my head. I keep thinking that. So that's
Yeah.
what's been going on.
Yeah. So every conversation we've been having recently, and this is not me knocking Lauren, okay? Because everybody's got their shit. We are all so guilty of this. I shouldn't say we all, but a lot of us,
Yeah.
myself included. I'm listening
Mhm.
to this conversation and learning the lesson, thankfully, through you so that I won't go going through it.
You're
And I'm
welcome.
going to clear my schedule a little bit because I'm like, ooh, I'm starting to feel that too, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, when your body gives you signs, you guys, our body is our biggest teacher. Okay. When your body starts to show you signs of fatigue, of overwhelm, right? We're doing too much. We've taken on too much. If you don't listen to it, those signs are going to get louder. Okay. So for
Yes.
Lauren, it started with a little, after Christmas sickness. And then she got something that felt like an injury. And then it's just getting bigger and bigger, right? And
Yep.
every time she thinks she's getting better, something else pops up. And why is it? Because she's not listening.
Right.
We have to listen to our body. So, Laura, how are you doing it differently this week?
This week I am only doing the things that I really, really have to do. Um, and I'm home. And if I'm being like completely vulnerable with you guys, it's like really frustrating me. I've been super emotional and like it's not my period. It may be the full moon, I don't know. But like like I have been so frustrated because I don't see like an end in sight right now. And I'm like not up and running like I typically am. And like I am a routine person. Like I love, my routine. I don't like things to kind of like take me out of my routine. And I'm just used to like feeling really good all the time. So like I like literally broke down to my husband yesterday and that immediately kind of put his like spidey senses or his hairs up, whatever you want to call it, because he was like, whoa, this is not typical. And he was like concerned, you know what I mean, at that point, because I am that person that kind of holds it together. And so, I think a lot of times like that could be our armor that we kind of have to like take down too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have the expectation for ourselves, right? But also, if we show up as that person that's always okay no matter what and always has it together no matter what, people expect that from you. People don't know what to
Yeah.
do, right?
Yeah.
Bob's like, "Oh shit, something's gone wrong," because
Yeah.
that's life, right? There's an expectation that you're always going to
Right.
have it together and take care of everybody. But we have to learn that lesson sometimes. How do we get along when we can't be the one to take care of everybody? It's been a theme lately, like how do we ask for help and how do you take help when it's
Yeah.
offered, right? This
Yes.
is the world offering learn an opportunity to take help. Where can you take a load off somewhere and offer it to somebody else, right? Not only to take the weight off yourself, but to empower them in a way and teach
Right.
them that they can be capable of something, right? Give people an opportunity to really shine, which is showing up for you in your business, right? It's
Yeah.
meeting week.
Right. Yeah, it's showing up for me in my business. And yes, at home, with even my son, he's been so cute. He's like filling my cup for me, telling me to go lay down, which which has been great. Ugh, sorry guys. I'm sure they'll cut that out. Um but yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's more of cutting the people pleasing too. There's some
Mm,
things that I had to cut out this week and last week that I felt obligated to go to because I said yes, because I said I would
mm,
go or I would go support that person. And like, when you think about it though, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to support that person so they feel good. But here I'm like fucking suffering through this or feeling like I can't take care of me because I said yes to something first.
yeah, that's a huge lesson there, right? Like we've
Yeah.
been in this coaching container since October. That's all about feminine receptivity, right? Like being in that flow energy. And I think part of this, at least this is my um third person. Oh, we're gonna pause here. Lauren had to run. You guys cut this part out. All right. I told him to cut it.
Okay.
All right. So I think something else that just kind of popped up into my head actually, Lauren, that's showing up here is like in that need to be able to receive, like how are you handling receiving the help that's coming for you, receiving the care that's showing up in your life right now because you can't be the one to do it all.
So I think that I think I'm receptive to a certain degree, I guess. I feel bad in some ways. And I even said to somebody, like, I don't want to let you down, because I was supposed to have this done. And I don't want to let them down. And then they're like, you're not letting us down. Like, you need to go to bed or you need to go rest or whatever it may be. And the other thing is, though, like, yes, I'm taking help from some and like letting some in. There's still a part of me that's not telling people like how I really am feeling. And I think the
Mhm.
fear there is it's a scarcity mindset. It's a lack mindset. It's me like not wanting to be discounted. Like, oh, Lauren's down and out right now, so we don't got to worry about her like, you know, crushing the game or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like we don't got to worry about that. Or B, like I don't want that overwhelming like concern that like I need to be rescued either. You know what I mean?
Mm,
It's kind of like my
mhm.
two schools of thought, which probably neither of them really serve me when I think about it, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. So we're not quite through the lesson with this one, right? We're still in the thick of it.
Oh, my wheels are turning though. I mean, like it's got my
Right.
attention, and and obviously moving forward, like I know I need to do things differently. So like, yes, your first warning sign, like really take heed and listen to your body. And two, stop fucking people pleasing. Like stand in your power more.
Yeah.
Say
Let
no
people help, let people
more.
lead themselves.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
that
have to
starts
take
with
the reign of
me.
everything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's
we can get caught up a lot. And I'm only speaking for myself here, but also kind of speaking for,
yeah.
at least Laura, because we talk about this all the time. Like, um, we want things in our life, right? We ask for those things to come.
Yes.
We are paying a lot of money right now to learn how to be more receptive, to learn how to take help, to learn how to do all of these things and not be the one that is just white knuckling, everything that we're doing.
Right.
When you ask for those things to show up in your life, you have to first learn the lesson
Yeah.
that requires
You're
that
right.
change in you, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
that thing can happen. I
Right.
would love to take more help, but if every time help comes to me, I turn it down, well,
Right.
you're only going to get so many more opportunities before they're like, well, we've tried. And then
Yeah.
we're back to square one. So when these signs show up, for Lauren, it's physical illness, right? It might be different for other people.
Right.
Um, roadblock, some sort of roadblocks that seems like it's stopping you from moving forward. If we can stop at that point and do a little bit of reflection and figure out like, okay, what is the lesson to be learned in this?
Right.
It will help us get to whatever it is that we're trying to go to that we feel like we're getting stopped from right now. It's actually that push forward. Okay, we
Yeah.
just have to climb a little hill to get there. It's not going to be a flat line to get to where we're wanting to go. We're going to climb
Right.
a few hills. We might slide down a few slides to go back to that chutes and ladders. Um, whatever that example that we used the other week, like, but when things come your way, don't get frustrated or get
Mm.
frustrated and sit in it for a little bit, but then move out of it and think, what can I learn? What's the
Right.
lesson in this? And then really take steps forward to make sure you're taking it in.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, again, the word of the year that I chose was trust. And yet I've kind of forgot that, I guess, for a little bit. I wasn't trusting my body. I wasn't trusting the process. I was still doing a lot of masculine, like forcing things, which again is exactly what Megan said. Like that's one of the things we're learning right now is how to have more of that, both that duality of feminine and masculine energy. So I guess it's like what I was saying to Megan earlier too. What I think was frustrating the most to me is that I felt like I had learned my lesson on this already. And I was kind of pissed off that this lesson came back. And it's kind of like that analogy that Megan used before, where, the first time it's that little pebble that'll get thrown at you, to kind of like check you. And if you don't listen to that, the next one is going to be like a boulder. So I kind of feel like, well, I listened to the pebble. So like, why am I now getting a boulder? Or did I just need that reminder again? You know what I mean? Again, those lessons are going to keep coming back bigger and bigger and bigger. And guys, like, I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm dying. I'm not. Like, it's just taking super long to freaking get over whatever I have. And it has knocked me down quite a bit compared to what I normally am functioning at. I know it could be worse. You know what I mean? I know it could be way worse. But nonetheless, it's still like really at me right now, which was kind of a surprise, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's really an opportunity to just learn this lesson at a new depth. Like,
Yeah.
you learned it at the pebble, you took it in, you let go of a little control, you learned to trust a little bit. Now it's like, all right, we're going to throw something a little bigger at you. You did well there. Check. It doesn't mean you failed the test before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good
You
point.
moved through that test, you handled it however, and now it's come up again. Okay, here's another opportunity. So you let go of a little bit of control, right? Where else can you let go of a little bit more control? Where can you
Right.
let yourself be taken care of, right? Taking on these changes that you're wanting, learn the lesson deeper. It may come back. You may get
Yeah.
knocked on your ass again for another month. It could happen to any of us at any time, and you never know. It's always a fucking surprise,
Right.
which is the most fun because it never happens when you have the next 3 weeks of a clear schedule. It always
Right.
hits
In
when
the
life
thick of
feels
it.
the heaviest. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we're
And
building that capacity.
that's the other thing is like, again, surrendering to the timeline. That's a lesson that I feel like, have I learned that one? To a certain
Mm,
extent, right? And again, I think maybe this is another part of learning that is like letting go that it's not about my time, right? I can only do so much. That's that again, that feminine and masculine energy. Um, so again, going back to like forcing things and when I want to do it and how I want to do it and all those things, like you really don't have control, you know? And so I guess it's surrendering to that too.
yeah. Like, we just threw a bunch of stuff at you guys. I feel like we should keep this nice and short so that
Yeah.
Laura can go actually take care of herself.
Thanks.
So, if you're listening to this podcast and you're hearing what we're saying and thinking, I wonder where this is showing up in my life.
Right.
Take a few minutes today to think about what lesson is showing up more and more. Maybe it's something you asked for, maybe it's something you didn't ask for, right? We
Right.
know we've asked for this. Lauren has asked for this trust, right? She wants to invite more
Mhm.
trust into her life, right?
Mhm.
So she's got to learn the lessons, easy or hard. Where in your life do you have a recurring lesson that's showing up?
Mhm.
Okay. And while you're moving through it, can you find some ease in that process? Rather than, like I said before, white knuckling it, trying to force your way through it, can you find ease in whatever discomfort you are facing in this moment? Discomfort is inevitable. If we want to grow, we have to be uncomfortable, right? Can you find ease through that process? Learn the lesson and then be ready for the next time it pops up to go a little deeper.
Yeah. Love it.
That's all we got for you today, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.